Welcome in, beautiful souls. If you're returning, I'm glad to have you back. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm doing a reading today. It's going to be about the archetype of a wounded healer. Now, I believe there could be many of us in this group that fall in this category. And they're going to use me as an example here, so bear with me. It's not that I don't want to do it. It's just, I don't know. I just don't like to. Okay. Anyway, I'm just going to go on. So, I'm just going to talk about this really quickly and then get on with the reading. So, sorry. So the architect of a wounded healer, these are people that have gone through a lot. The wounds that this archetype carries. It's a wound that doesn't truly ever heal. It's a wound of suffering that this type can become like the best guide, teacher, and healer for others. This soul also has been in the darkest of places of the world and in their emotions, within their own suffering, which allows them to help. That's what makes them to be such a good guide or teacher or healer, right? Because they've gone through their own, so they understand and can view others with compassion and love. And they also, they still have that empathy. So they're still, they're still that empath. So they're still absorbing like those heavy energies from those other people and helping to transmute those for them, or alchemize, however you want to view it. You're probably going to hear the rooster in the back as he's been screaming all morning. I'm not sure what his deal is, but it's been a little crazy around here the past couple days. So this archetype also is misjudged in many ways. And, this wounded healer archetype, they show up in the world with love and kindness and a boatload of empathy, you know what I mean? But others may see them as weak and or an easy target to manipulate. They could also receive a lot of black magic or evil eye because, I guess it's just the way it is. There's always like an underlining jealousy or hate or, like negative, like darkness. I just refer to them like darkness. Darkness has, they recognize that light in another, and, so they will just automatically dislike you for no reason. So you probably get that a lot. The other thing too, I just heard some screaming. I don't know what that is. This is where they make the mistake, because when, oh gosh, I don't know if I want to say this. So this person that could be, or people, because I believe it could be more than one. When these people like do this kind of stuff, like when they send evil eye and, hatred and like are creating, I don't know, the best word for this would be, well, I'm just going to call it what it is, black magic. It's really what they're doing, because when someone has a lot of like dark, hateful thoughts and they're like aiming it at somebody, or they're just thinking about them in all these negative ways, it really is a black magic, right? And your words are very powerful. You know that saying, when you're a kid and it's like, oh, sticks and stones will break your bones, but the words will never hurt you. That's a complete lie. You know what I mean? That is a lie, because words are probably more hurtful. Bones mend, bruises, fade, but those words linger in a psyche of another person. So the person that could be doing this, or people that could be doing this, like, taking you and thinking that, oh, you're just, a pushover and you're just, a wimp or whatever, however they're viewing you, they're making a big mistake, because what happens with a wounded healer is they have they have this anger that is always in their psyche. It's a rage that they have within their psyche. And though they might keep that contained and it has its place in their feelings and in their healing process, it is always in their psyche. So, I mean, for me, it takes a lot to push my buttons. It takes a lot. Like, I can just mostly just laugh things off, and, I just accept people for who they are and what they do. And, even when they do terrible things, I still give them grace, because I know they're, somebody that's hurt or somebody that's wounded, and they also need, oh, well, that's interesting. I went to light this because it went out, and I put out my candle. So that just goes to tell you that's, I'm going to tell you that there's been a lot of negative stuff brewing around me. So I know I'm receiving a lot of this stuff. And I'm going to tell you a little story here of what happened to me yesterday, like literally all day long. And that's why they're making me do this reading. And I say make me do it because I wanted to do a reading about the auras of the chosen ones, because we all have like these really cool auras about us, and I wanted to do a reading on them. Hold on, I'm just going to light my candle here. And I'm surprised that actually went out, because I have special herbs in it to help cleanse my space today, and I thought I had that burning long enough before I started this, but my frankincense keeps going out, so that tells me that there's a lot of hate coming towards me. So where was I here? I'm just going to finish this, and then I'll tell you what happened in a little on a personal note. Here we go. This is where they will make that mistake by that person coming against you. This wounded healer is also an empath, right? So, they've walked through their own hell and not just survived it, like untouched. I mean, they still carry their, we all carry our scars. We didn't get out of it without having scars. And so empaths know what this knowledge is about. Like this is the wisdom that they gain from that. And that's what makes them good teachers, healers, good guides for others, having that wisdom and understanding and all that. They also have the power to absorb that heavy energy, like I was saying, and they can transmute it. However, when a wounded healer, like a high level wounded healer, like such as myself, when I am like PO'd by the action of another after being provoked, you will also feel the energy like fly off this type of archetype. So that energy that can build like with that rage, the blowback will not be pleasant for the receiver. So whoever's been receiving been sending negative energy towards me, or putting some kind of black magic on me, or whatever they've been doing the past few days. I have this like high-pitched screaming going on around me. This or these individuals, this is where it got a little personal, because there's a type of rage that lives within the psyche, like I said, of every archetype that is a wounded healer, because that is a wound that lives in their psyche. They don't like put it on other people. They still keep it contained. They still show love. They show up for others. They try to spread their love in a positive way. But when they're provoked and you start poking the bear, you're going to get blowback. And I'm going to tell you, all that energy that they absorb to heal others and to, give grace to others, that can blow back in a way that the receiver is not going to be happy about. Now, because this rage that lives within a wounded healer, it's because it's an accumulated energies of like boundaries being crossed, of swallowing your truth to make others comfortable. Like I acknowledge my anger. I'm gonna just tell you what happened yesterday. I was taking my dogs for a run and in the woods, And normally they walk behind me and, you know, like they sniff and stuff like that. And I was, I mean, they ran ahead of me and they were like on the trail ahead of me, like quite a far ahead of me, which is not, you know, usually like they'll go a little bit and then they come back and then, you know what I mean? Like as I go, they, you know, they might go a little bit, you know, like 10, 15 feet or so and come back to me. But normally, like I said, they're always behind me, you know. But on the way there, I kept noticing like a branch smacked me in the forehead on the street. I think I like tripped over my shoelace. I tied that up, like, and which is weird because I always double tie my shoelaces and stuff. So, you know, I didn't really think a whole lot of it. I'm just like la di doo 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 doo, you know, doing my thing, you know. And well, my dog, my husky, ran into a porcupine, and we ended up rushing out of the woods. And thankfully, there was a man that was very gracious, and he came and, you know, we put the dog down onto the ground, and he had a pair of pliers, and he was pulling, you know, all the quills out. And I mean, she was bleeding everywhere. I had blood like up to my elbows on both arms. My shirt was coated in blood. My dog was coated in blood. But there was one in particular that kept breaking off, and it was just too short and small. We couldn't get, like, it just kept slipping out of the pliers. And then there were ones inside her mouth that we were able to get out, but we didn't know if there was anything that were down into her throat. Anyway, it turned into a very big, you know, emergency vet thing. So I get, you know, I get her back to the house. I get a vet appointment. I get her down to the vet, and they want to charge me like $1,300. And I got mad because I'm like, for one quill, you're going to charge me that much? Like, are you crazy? Like, what is going on here? So anyway, I was angry, and I gave them, like, I looked at that. I mean, I looked up that over my glasses, the rim of my glasses, like my father used to do when we were kids. And I tell you, the look in my eyes, that lady jumped up. She went in the back, came back. Well, now it was only about a $600 fee. But I mean, and then I come to find out in the very end, and they actually bragged about it, which I thought, how disgusting are you? It was one quill. It literally was just the one quill, but it gave me comfort knowing that they had checked all inside her mouth and her tongue, and they did look down into her throat to make sure there was no quills. So, you know, it was a pricey thing, but also after, like, I had walked her down there, and because that's not that far from where I live, and I like tripped again. A branch like flew up off the ground and like smacked my ankle and tore up my toe a little bit. And I'm just like, what is going on? Like, this is just weird. Like, all these like little things were happening, and, you know, with the dog, and, you know, like, I don't know, just weird things were going on. So I dropped her off, and I come back, and I did a little meditation. I'm saying, like, guys, what is going on right now? And I got 2 words: black magic. And I thought, well, who and why and what would want to do that? Like, why? So what happens when people send that type of energy towards me, like the hate and the malice and the jealousy and all that, when that comes at me, it doesn't always just hit me. Like, when it hits me, I mean, I'll stub my toe, or like a branch will smack me in the forehead. Like, that's what I get from it. But my animals, my pets, take the brunt. So yesterday, it happened to be my big dog. She, you know, she was ahead of me on that trail for a reason. And I was even thinking, like, why is she going so far in the trail? Like, that's weird. And I didn't really think a whole lot more of it other than that. So, I mean, I could have ended up with those quills in me. You know what I mean? And here, because the system here, I mean, you could sit in the emergency room for like days and die there. You know what I mean? Because, you know, our system's broken. So, you know, even though like it costs some money, she's still not doing all that well. I was able to get her to eat a little bit last night. I'll put a little picture in the video for you so you can see her. But, you know, she still has a little bit of blood on her head, and like they did wash her down a little bit, but there's still a little bit of blood there. And you know, her poor mouth is all like beat up because she had like these quills inside under her tongue, in her gums. Like, yeah, she was in bad shape. Anyway, it was very upsetting. And when I heard that, I was like this. I literally I was infuriated. And I lashed out. And when I lashed out, it was like all my energy, because it created pain for my animals, and I was very angry about it. I didn't sit down and like cry over it. I was infuriated. And all that energy that Israel, like, you see the difference here? Like, this pain, like, can be, you know, like, put into a positive way, but also, it can also be a very destructive energy. And this is what I did yesterday, and I'm not going to apologize for it at all, because I lashed out, and all that fury that I had, like, I just basically, like, let it go and said, whatever evil eye, hex, or black magic that has been put upon me or my pets, I send back tenfold. And I just, and I released it. And then about 10 minutes later, this fury, you know, subsided. And I sat down in my chair and I was like, oh, geez, I shouldn't have done that. I don't do that. I normally will just alchemize it and send it back. Or I'll just take whatever it is and I will just send it back to the universe to be dealt with. And I did not call my angels in to do that. I just released it right back on whoever. And, you know, it was more than one person that's done it. Because one person cannot create that kind of energy for me, because I'm a very powerful psychic. So I'm very well protected. So that, you know, it takes more than one person. And then, of course, I had a person that came in and subscribed to the channel and then started, you know, sending me comments, you know, saying like, oh, you know, maybe you should stop talking and, you know, stuff like that. And I just basically said, listen, you don't have to watch. You have free will. You know what I mean? And then they were offended because I said that. Well, sorry, but, you know, like, you don't like how I talk, I'm not going to change for you. You're just a complete stranger that is getting free content. Like, bye. But, so I do know that I think a lot of it came from somebody that is close to me, or not close to me personally, but close in my vicinity. Let's put it that way. So I, you know, so I guess they wanted to make me aware. And I did sit down and I had, you know, I did speak with my guides and I just said, you know, like, I feel a little bit bad. I probably shouldn't have done that. And, you know, this isn't really a healthy thing to do. And, you know, are you disappointed in me or whatever? And they're just like, no, well deserved is what they said. So for me to lash out the way I did, they felt that it was well deserved for me to send it back to whomever that has done it. So for the warning for anyone out there that messes with a wounded healer or an empath of any level, that empath has gone through a lot. And they have this fury that always lives within them, in their psyche. And I'm going to tell you that fury, if they unleash it, that other person is going to feel it in the worst of ways. Okay, so I guess, and then of course all these cards started coming out too, so I'm just going to keep these, I guess, and we're going to move on. Star, do you need to go out? Do you want to come up? Oh my goodness, this dog. And you know, that's too, I noticed that the animals the past few days have been a little off, and I haven't, you know, I didn't really clue in because I've just been kind of in my little lonely happy world, you know what I mean? Come here. Oh, there you go. Okay, so, all right, Spirit, where do you want to begin here? Okay, so they want to keep this card here. It's underneath. Achievement. Yeah, the goat here. You know, people tend to use empaths as an scapegoat all the time. But then the empath gets to a degree that they're not going to tolerate it. Oh, what's this? Look at this. Oh, yeah, this is like, because they carry this pain. Exactly, Spirit. My dragon's not happy either. My dragon's pissed. The Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to get all your wishes come true, though. Let's see. Oh, yeah, look, wishes come true. There, too. Okay, let's put a few more. Whoa. Yeah, this is the dragon deck, dragon deck. Oh, look at the Emperor. Yeah, look, see this dragon? This dragon's pissed. My dragon is pissed. But, you know, thankfully that they gave me all the protection that they did yesterday, because, like I said, it could have happened to me. And, you know, unfortunately, my dog took the brunt of it. But, yeah, see, this is all that energy. Well, the Eight of Wands, that came in reverse, though. This is that unfocused energy. Lack of direction. Oh, I directed it the right person yesterday, I can tell you that. But maybe they didn't direct it in the right way. Like that energy they sent to me was not directed in the right way, and my animal suffered for it. Yeah. My dragon's definitely not happy. That's what I heard when because of the pain that they cause, lol. You know, they before I started this reading, they asked me to grab my dragon deck. I said, "Oh, the dragons are going to come visit today, are they?" And they said, "Yes, your dragon's pissed." I was like, "Oh." And of course, when I'd grabbed the wrong deck and sat down, and then I'd realize after that I had grabbed the wrong deck. Yeah, well, it's a whole new day, though. Yes, Spirit. Trying to show me this one here. The Hermit. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just going to put these aside here. I want these out here. They want the Healer card here. It's a seeker. Thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. You know, that's really what a healer does. This wound healer is constantly looking for truth and knowledge and healing, protection. You know, this enchanted evening here. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this symbol here. You can like draw this symbol on a piece of paper and put it like in your space, like strong protective magic for the family and the home. This symbol here is like a Viking protection symbol. So you can actually like draw that on a piece of paper and use that as protection. I'm getting a weird glare on my cards here. Hold on, I gotta move my table a little. This light here is putting a glare. Okay. Oh, you know, I've been noticing how dark it's been in my room. I don't know what's going on here. It's really gloomy. Let's turn another light on. Jeez. Sorry, messing with the microphone here, trying to get some more light on the table. It's dreary. Okay, there's something here in this card here. Let me pull out some of these. What is fury? Because, yeah, I was furious yesterday, too, when I found that out. Yeah, because the person was blinded. Their energy, they didn't know where to focus their energy properly. So it was like... Yeah, live and learn. They're going to live and learn, too, because the way when I did that, that was, you know, probably not a good thing for me to do, but they're going to, yeah, it's going to be a promise. They're going to be living and learning something here because, you know, and this 27 breaks down to a 9. So you have 9, 9 here. They're going to live and learn. They're going to learn a hard lesson because, you know, though my dog might have gotten the quills in their mouth, oh, they might even come to them through their dreams. I mean, it could have been way worse for her. They could have gotten into her eyes. They could have gotten into me and her. It could have gotten into my little one as well, those quills. So, you know, like, I mean, I could have gotten hit by a car. I mean, like, that energy, because it was chaotic, I think it, you know, it just kind of went in all different directions. It didn't, like, but my energy did go in the right direction. So this person could end up having, like, car troubles or, you know, health issues or, I mean, I don't know how that energy is going to manifest for them, but they're going to be sorry. Yeah, I was just splitting it here, a little accident. Danger, caution, injury. No joke. You know, and this is why I had tried to be, and they might end up homeless even. You know, and this is why I was trying, like, I don't like to do that. I try to, you know, just alchemize the energy because I do know that when I lash out, my energy, it has a lot of fire to it. Yeah. I think this person has like some kind, they thought they had some kind of strategy though. They thought they did. I think they're going to end up, yeah, somebody with a bunch of masks, little deception, pretending, inconsistency. You know, this is definitely somebody I know that's around me. I know this is I know exactly who this is. Yeah, and they might even like try to give an apology, but I'm going to split on strategy again. Yeah. I withdrew all my energy after I did it though. In a very short, you know, within 10 minutes or so, I withdrew my energy because I care, you know what I mean? Like, I do care. I don't want my energy to hurt people, but, you know, when you hurt me and, you know, like the mama bear got poked yesterday, you know, I was protecting my babies, you know what I mean? Like, I was angry that this, you know, that people would want to do that. And what they don't understand is, like I said, it ends up hurting my animals. It doesn't so much get me, it gets them. And that made me angry. Jeez, man, is there anything else in this? No. Okay. Yeah, see, this is torn here. So yeah, I was kind of torn. Like I was torn between like the anger and lashing out and then also feeling bad. My energy was torn. I was in like this swirl of energy yesterday. And you see how she's got the scale here and the scales are balanced though. So I did balance my energy. There's something in this here I think they want me to address, and it's probably directed at me. Maybe you too. I don't know. Let's see. This card will come up when your feelings are overwhelming, crashing over you like waves. We need to feel all our emotions. That's the only healthy way to be. But right now, you could be somewhat drowning in them. And I was totally yesterday. I can tell you, I was infuriated. like I haven't been in a very, very long time. So this Lemergence, I don't know, is characterized by an intense longing, usually for someone or something that you seemingly can't have. No. If you want to transform your current situation, you need to go deep to deal with your emotions rather than allowing them to control you. Yeah, see, that's exactly what happened yesterday. Ask yourself if you've developed an unhealthy attachment. There's a point where being healthy, enthusiastic about someone or something tips into obsession. If this card comes up, it's time for you to have a word with yourself. The dark moon calls on us to release, and right now you need to let go of anything that has too tight of a hold on you. Once you make the first move toward release, you may find whatever you've worried about starts to fall away too. Okay. Yeah, so it's just said, like, be compassionate towards yourself and others, and putting yourself first, and it's okay to be vulnerable. All right, so let's just move on from that. Okay, they asked me to bring out the this deck here. I don't know if there's another card here or not. Liberation. Freeing yourself from others, outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. Yeah. All right. I get it now, Spirit. I know. Well, guide. Represent the nature of the divine life and in yourself. Yeah. See? Destroyer. Releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. I don't, you know, see, this is the thing. Once that rage and energy is released out, it's not something you can just like call back in. So that's why I always try to make sure that I don't allow the anger to, like, if I'm angry, or I know that, like, I will just go for a walk, or, jump in the shower, or release the energy in a more positive way, instead of becoming like a destroyer. Like, so you're talking like this mountain like explodes, right? And I'm sure we can all understand what that's like. This fury just, you just blow, like, there's fire and the fire, and yeah. But when you cause this kind of pain, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, because you're trying to steal something from me. You're trying to steal my peace. They're trying to steal your peace, trying to steal something that means something to you. So stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think that, they lack. So whatever they think they are lacking, they're trying to take from you. They're trying to steal it. And by stealing it is by, sending black magic to you, or hate, or whatever it is, the evil eye. It's all the same. Okay. So we're going to get off of that there. Had enough of that energy. Okay. So I think we all experienced it at some point or another, right? I noticed 1111's on the board here too. Actually, more than that, because we have, with number 74, we have an 11. 29 is an 11. We have 10 and a 1, which is another 11. So you could be seeing a lot of 1111. 1111 is like a portal. We also have 77 here too. So we have 16 here, number 16 here, and another 6. We have 9s on the board. Okay, Spirit, what else? Okay, let's see here. No matter how much negative energy this individual or others can throw at you, because you're protected, and you know what I mean? Like, your wishes are going to come true once you get through more of your healing. But this symbol here, this enchanted evening, the perfect night, has like all the elements. This is the air, fire, water, spirit. You get the crescent moons. This here is all about having like a perfect alignment, you know what I mean? So if you're having like some kind of gathering or something, my cat's outside crying to get in. Do you hear him? He's actually outside the house. Hold on, I gotta go get him. Of course I do. He's here for protection again. I'm coming, buddy. I don't know what's going on here. It's all right. He's been on protective mode for about 3 days. He's been keeping me up a lot at night. He won't leave my side. he's doing a lot of crying and things like that. Just, I don't know what's really happening. Okay. There's a lot of energy swirling around, I guess. So let's just, what's I doing? Look at that. Raphael and Tobit on the bottom. Raphael has spoken. My name means God heals, and I am sending you my light. You will receive the gift of divine order on every level. You notice that these dragons are green, and then he comes in with the green dragon here, Raphael. Okay, is there another card here? I heard no. Look at this. Trust your judgment, believe in yourself, and in your truth. What a beautiful card. I don't know if I've ever seen this card before. I don't know. And Lodos. Lodos? I don't know. Oh my God. Okay, so let me set this card aside here. There's something I guess they want me to read. Okay, I don't know which one they want me to read. What is this? They told me to make note of this card here. It's Michael and Solasdia. Number 9. You can do it. Don't give up. Follow the path of your wildest dreams. You know, Michael's the protector here. The protection. And you see how this dragon is like standing up on his, you know what I mean? And then kind of same as how this dragon is. And it comes right above the protection here. Okay. Okay, who else wants to come out here? Buddha was on the bottom. All that peace, right? Buddha and his peace. Guru Ramdas, miraculous moment, harmony surrounds you, expect miracles. Is there another? They kind of split the, look at this, Lakshmi and Ganesh, because prosperity, vibrations, you know, and in this deck, the prosperity card kept popping out over and over, the Atlanteans, evolution, vibration, legacy, technology, progress, expect acceleration. You know, that's, I was actually thinking that too, because I know there's a lot of energy that is, like I said, was going around. And with that energy, that is going to elevate the healers, the empaths, the, like, all the different light workers and angels and all that, like that is going to start increasing for them. So you could be receiving a lot of this negative energy too, because it's to try to keep you from rising to a higher level and having your wishes come true. Overcoming limitations. That's exactly what it is. It's to overcome the limitations. A karmic release, let go of the need to be right. Yeah. You are attracting health, wealth, and happiness. Yeah, and see, this is something that others, they don't like it. You know what I mean? If there's people around you that are, you know, vengeful or don't like to see anything good happen for you, they're going to lash out at you. An evolution vibration. Yeah. But there's going to be wishes come true. This prosperity. Yeah. Overcoming these limitations. Yeah. Okay, that's what's here. Trust your innocence. Yeah, well, another 9. You know, there's a lot of these 9s here going on. And we got 9 here. We got 9, 9. And then I just flipped it over. Starseed elemental here. Yeah, it's for the star seeds too. There's a, well, I mean, we're all star seeds, really. You know, they're just trying to, I know for, I don't know if anybody else is going through this, but you probably are. You're probably like, even though you're sleeping, you're just walking around, dragging yourself around. Like the energy is heavy and you're exhausted. And, you know, you could be getting a lot of past motions or past energy that's been coming to purge and to heal, you know what I mean? So it's bringing up a lot of things. And the cat is at it again. Good grief. Come on. All right. Feel better now? You know, they've been kind of a little off too because of the my husky Nanook. Come here. Come up here. There you go. All right, here we go. Alrighty, let's see here. Okay, guys, I'm ready if you're ready. I don't know if you can hear him purring or not, but he seems to be happy now that he's in here. Life force energy. Yeah, seeing that, you know, your energy can be used for good and it can also be used for destruction, like I said. So there's, you know, that just shows like that polarity that they keep bringing up here. Full spectrum. I'm going to cover up this Fury card, and I don't really want to, you know, put that behind us, you know. Oh, look, I just split it on balanced forces again. Yeah. It's a lot about balancing that energy. It's this one, the ether, exactly. The seamless, unspeakable. You see all these eyes too? And the... Oh, these are dragons. You know, they almost have wings of swans here. This is interesting. You know, this just gives me the... Oh, it's another 11. Yeah, I just realized another 11. You know, this gives me... Oh, these are Metatron's cubes here. Central sun. This just gives me the what is out, you know, what is out in the ether, you know, what you put out in the ether, you know what I mean? So like normally I put out, you know, positive things, and you know, and I'm sure you do too, but you know, there's those days like, you know, just don't, you know, unfortunately you're always going to have somebody that's going to mess with us, you know, like you're going to have somebody that's going to want to mess with your energy. They're going to be jealous or, you know, resent you in some way. And I mean, I guess it's just how, you know, you deal with all these people with all these different masks, right? You know, but to hold yourself in a place where you hold your integrity and your truth, right? I guess that's the best way to deal with them. Which I did not yesterday. Because I was infuriated. I was even mad at the vets because I knew that they're trying to rip me off. Like, how can you go from $1,300 charge to a $600 charge in 5 minutes? I'm like, give me another pair of pliers. I got my glasses on me. I'll actually be able to get it out myself. Sacred heart fire, passion. Yeah, exactly. This is it. You know, that passion, like I was saying. You know, get that passion. Okay, so what else here? What is that? Okay, what? Oh my God, look on the bottom. They told me look in the bottom. Nature, the healing. Look, the love, the branches. Isn't that beautiful? Cedar, sacred medicine, protection. You know, I heard a cool thing about cedar. You know how, like, we've been, like, in over the past, you know, decade or two, we, at one point, never had ticks here, but we do now. And I was watching this thing, and they were saying how ticks, if they come in contact with cedar from like a cedar tree, it shuts down their internal system and it kills them. So to protect your property, you can do cedar mulch all around the edge of your property. I think they said they recommended 3 feet, like, around your property. But I just thought that was a pretty cool thing, how you can use nature to not only heal, but you can use nature in a destructive way. You know what I mean? So that's, this is like where they're showing like the ether here. What you put out, you're going to get back, right? So always be careful what you're putting out there. So we have protection twice here. Breathe and mindfulness. Yeah, exactly, Spirit. Yeah, not only respect yourself, but to respect others. But when you're being disrespected in a not so good way, that's what happens, right? It's a sacred journey of transformation. It absolutely is. Yeah. Well, another 29 here. It's another 11. So you get 29, 29. It's beautiful. It's transformation. Yeah. Okay. Empaths really spend a lot of time in darkness. They spend a lot of time dealing in those dark emotions that a lot of people don't want to deal with. And it doesn't bring them any kind of healing if they don't. So those are the people that tend to, use their life force in a negative way. And I see they're showing these dolphins to me. And, dolphins are very sacred, healing, water energy, right? They swim with mermaids. They swim with whales. They also have been known to help animals, and they've been known to help like sailors that have gone overboard or whatever. And I'll tell you, here's a bit of a cool thing. When I was going through my healing journey, my guides had taken me to, it was like a lagoon, I guess it was, and it was full of dolphins. And I was standing, and they know, because of my human psyche, I fear water, I fear the ocean, I fear the animals in the ocean. Even dolphins. I think they're beautiful and majestic and all that, but I don't want to be in the water with them. You know what I mean? So they had me doing something so that my human mind was distracted on my hands. So I was doing something, and eventually a dolphin approached me. But then when I realized that it was that it approached me, it looked me straight in the eye, and I was and it felt my fears, so it didn't come any closer. But it was for me to receive a type of healing from the dolphin. So, and there were other people too. There was other souls there in the water with their guides, and the odd dolphin would go up to, but other people were like touching the dolphins and stuff like that. But I wasn't brave enough for that foolishness. But I'm just going to say that dolphins are a very healing life force energy. So you might want to, if you're going through like a really tough time, you could call in your dragons. You can call in your, and I keep thinking that these are like water dragons too. And you can call in, well, I guess they're probably more air dragons, but because this kind of gives me like they're in like a watery type thing, right? But I do know that they have wings, so they're obviously the air. So you can call in dolphins and your dragon. Oh, look on the bottom. It's a little peacemaker. More water. And I noticed that they're bringing up this dark moon a lot too. Oh, or maybe that's just a planet. Maybe those are planets. Oh, there's 2 suns here. Persistent patience. Yeah, I love overflowing. Yeah, the water can loan another 27. Another 11. Wow, those 11s are really out here today. Okay. Oh, I find these cards are so hard in the hands. All right, Spirit, what else here? On the bottom. Balance and harmony. Yeah. Balance and harmony for sure. What's this here? Strength test. Choose freedom, creature of fire. And underneath it's the chiefess, which is strength tested. Yeah. Unfortunately, my strength was tested yesterday. And, you know, maybe I should feel a little bit bad about sending out that energy. Because, you know, they're pointing out this infinity symbol here, which is, you know, what goes around comes around, right? But, you know, my gods were just like, no, it was well-deserved. When you lashed out, it was well-deserved. Creature of water, creative expression, yeah. You know, because, you know, like, I'm not... Just because I am a healer, because I am a psychic, because I am doing these readings to help other people, it doesn't give anyone the right to abuse me in any way. So I guess that's probably why Spirit was just like, you know, no, it was well-deserved. You don't deserve being treated that way. Golden path. You are beautiful, gifted, and a sensitive soul, traveling a golden path full of creativity and light. You're on a way to fulfilling your heart's deepest desires. Enjoy each precious moment along your path to ever greater love and wisdom. Namaste. Okay. All right, hold on. They want me to read this card here. Of course, it's buried. There's something here that they want me to read. What number is that? 30. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, God. Okay. I have to read it. It says, a message from Raphael. Now, my friend, how have you managed to create such chaos within your system? I am impressed. I look at you and see I have much to do. Come, let's clear and cleanse this together. Give yourself a month in which to visualize me every day. The card will help you. Hold it over your heart. Imagine that I am standing before you and my radiant being is entering you. And you know, when I was going to sleep last night, I called in my angels to come, and I said, oh, who's coming in? And the first one stepped forward, says Raphael. And I was like, well, thank you for being here. So I kind of knew, because I was very dysregulated yesterday. I knew they were gonna make me pay for it today. I knew that was gonna come, but it's okay. Call me out on it. It's all right. Let's see here. I will work from within to create divine order wherever you have left chaos. Meditate and recognize where fear, desperation, rejection, and self-destructive patterns of behavior have become lodged within you. Then visualize every day how my holy sword glow is cleansing your second chakra, just as it was created to do. So that's your sacral, your sacral, the orange one. Raphael is accompanied by a dragon called Tobit, and he has been incorrectly described as a good and wise demon in ancient scripture. Okay, so Tobit has a message too. So I am known as Tobit, the omniscient. I am not only wise, I carry with me the emerald tablet of Hermes Trismegistus, Hermes of the Trice Great, in brackets, okay? This holy work is the path to perfect divine order. I cannot yet hand over this work to humanity because people would simply want to profit from it. When you are ready, however, call me to your side and I will allow you to touch the emerald tablet, an act that is tantamount to intuition. Prepare yourself with cleansing rituals and meditation. When you are ready, call me, and I will allow you to enter my innermost being where the tablet awaits you. And you have like wishes come true, sacred journey, enchanted evening, protection. Cool. All right. So that's that. Let's see here. On the bottom is self-love and compassion. Have compassion for yourself, forgive yourself, and be kind. Nothing and nobody is perfect when judged from a human perspective. Life, in all its mysteries, unanswered questions, and seeming imperfection is perfect. See this from a higher perspective and feel it through the quiet of the heart. Life is continuously learning experience. You know, they did bring out the live and learn card here that's underneath the ether. Okay, you're going to have me split this, right? Yeah. Soul light. A relationship may seem less than perfect, yet from the perspective of the soul, this relationship is here to help you grow. Greater understanding and compassion help, but at the same time, stand up for yourself and your rights. Listen to and be guided by the light in your soul. You know, and that's the same thing here, like trust your judgment, believe in yourself, in your truth. So, you know, when that person or people sent that negative energy to me and I stood up for myself, that's why my guides were like, you know, now you're feeling bad and remorseful over it. And, you know, you can live and learn from it. But, you know, it was well deserved because whatever they're doing, you know, I didn't deserve that negative energy, right? Courage and trust. Step into the void of uncertainty. Trust in life, existence, and that your soul will guide you to where you want to go. And whatever you want to create, life is made of big and little moments. One day you will look back and smile, knowing how precious every moment was. Okay, that's it, right? Yeah, trust your feelings. Let go of old beliefs that no longer serve you. Replace them with positive thoughts and intentions. Listen to your wise heart, for it is the voice of your soul and your inner compass. Don't give up on your dreams and passions. Pursue them with empathy, kindness, and love. Okay, that's it. Yeah, it was a blessing in disguise. Every experience offers a gift, wherever you perceive it, good or bad. Yet sometimes a gift is only revealed with the passing of time. Be patient and have faith. There is a blessing that you cannot see at present. You know, and that's what I was thinking yesterday. Like I actually said to my sister-in-law, I'm actually grateful. Not that, you know, the dog got hurt, but I was grateful that it wasn't worse than it was because it could have gotten into her eyes. She could have been blinded by it, or she could have like fought me to the point where we wouldn't have been able to pull them out. You know what I mean? It could have been like, you know, something that I wouldn't have been able to afford to help her at all, right? So I was actually very grateful in the end. I mean, I wasn't happy about it, but I was grateful that it wasn't worse. So, okay, that's all I have. So, you know, I guess, you know, if you're going through the same thing, you'll understand. And, you know, I'm not going to feel bad anymore because, you know, I think this energy deserved to get a little bit of a whooping from the energies. You know, you're going to get back what you give out. So I'm going to send, with that, I'm going to send all my love and light. And have a good day, everybody. Bye.